Hello friends, welcome to my channel on Vaira Citadel. I am Nalini Rajagovindan. In continuation with my earlier video on hypothesis, today in this video we are going to learn about hypothesis related to problem statement in a research study and also about operational definition of variables. And this video will be useful for aspirants of UGC NTA NET. And also for those students who are pursuing research or taking any exams in research methodology. We saw what a hypothesis is in our last video. Now we will see hypothesis related to a problem statement in a research study. Here is an example. A study of the effects of two teaching methods, namely SSS and CCC, on the NET score of students in school. Yes. Well, this is the statement of the research problem. Now I repeat the research problem. A study of the effects of two teaching methods, namely SSS and CCC, on the NET score of the students in school X. And for this problem statement, one of the hypotheses could be, with students of heterogeneous academic achievement, there will be no difference in the mean gains in the NET score for students taught by program SSS and those taught by program CCC. Now, let me explain this hypothesis. First hypothesis. With students of heterogeneous academic achievement, because here we have got a group of students who are heterogeneous, who are not the same. They have different academic achievement background. So some may be good, they would have got a lot of marks in the previous examination, and some would be mediocre, and some would be in the lower end of the scale. So there are heterogeneous group of students. And there will be no difference in the mean gain in the NET score for students taught by program SSS and those taught by program CCC. What is SSS? Program SSS is special coaching by the subject teachers of the school. So they got a special program for the students who are registered for NET exam, taught by the teachers of the same subject, the same school. So whoever teach them the subject, biology or maybe physics, the same teacher gives them special coaching. So this is called program SSS, special coaching by subjects teacher of the school. And there is one more program they are going to try out in a different method called CCC, and where it is coaching by a coaching center. So some of the students are enrolled in a coaching center and they are given special coaching there. So these two programs we are going to see the difference. Of course, there is going to be gain because there is training involved. So there is going to be gain in both the group of students taught by SSS and CCC. But we are going to see where the gain is going to be more. Which program is more effective? So more mean gains in NET score for the students taught by program SSS and those taught by program CCC. And the first hypothesis, there will be no difference in the two programs, effect of the two programs, both by SSS and by CCC. There will be the same net gain in both the programs. There will be no difference. That is what the first hypothesis says. And what will be the second hypothesis? See, for students scoring in the lower 30% on the mock NET, those taught by program SSS will have a greater mean gain than those taught by program CCC. So the lower 30%, so they are conducting a mock NET test before starting the study and after the study. What is before study? Before giving them coaching, either by SSS or by CCC. Before giving them, they select the participant, they select the sample and they give them a prior test, mock NET. and assess them, and then give them the special coaching. SSS, a group of students are trained by SSS, and another group of students are given training by CCC. They are enrolled in a coaching center and they are given special coaching. Now, after the coaching, say for a period of 3 months, it's over. Now give them another mock test for both students taught by SSS and by students taught by CCC. Now assess them, and now the hypothesis, the second hypothesis we are going to set is, for those students scoring the lower 30% on the mock NEET, the program SSS will have more greater mean gain. That is, those person who are getting in the lower rank, the lower 30% of the students will gain more by the program taught by the same subject teacher of the same school. So that is what our second hypothesis is. And what is the third hypothesis? Say for students scoring in the upper 30% of the mock NEET, those taught by program CCC will have greater mean gain than those taught by program SSS. Now this third hypothesis is talking about the students in the higher 30% rank, the upper 30%, who got the upper 30% on mock NEET. So for them, the program CCC, that is the program by the coaching center, will be more effective, will give them more benefit. So that is what our third hypothesis state. And what is the fourth hypothesis state? And this talks about the middle 40% of the student. It's not talking about the higher rank students nor about the lower students, but those average students who are in the middle 40% of the mock NEET test. They say there will be no difference in the mean gain for students taught by either by program SSS and then those taught by program CCC. They will have the gain, net gain will be the same in both the method. The method of teaching will not have any effect on the performance on the mock NEET. That is what the fourth hypothesis is. So there can be any number of hypotheses in a research study, but all the hypotheses have to be checked, tested, and we have to find out which is true and which is false. So this is an example for a hypothesis which is followed by a problem statement. So in a research which is concerned with a problem, you state the problem first and then it is followed by the hypothesis. Maybe one hypothesis or maybe many hypotheses as the case may be. Now coming to the most important part of this topic, the operational definition of a variable in research study. We all know what a definition is. It is the description or the exact meaning of a word or an idea. Now tell me, what is an operational definition? This is a term which is very often used in any research, where the researcher has to give the operational definition of all the variable he uses in his research. Operational definition specifies the context in which the variable is used. It refers to what the variable means here, now, in this context, in this research study. Now I know you all want an example. Example. Yes, we need examples to get the real meaning. Now here we go. We will use the same example cited before for learning what is operational definition. Now what is the problem statement there? A study of the effects of two teaching methods, namely SSS and CCC, on the NEET score of students in school. Yes. Now we will operationally define all these terms. Now the first term, we have to define who are all the individuals included in the study. Now you should define, that is operation, you should give the operational definition for the participants. So all students registered for NEET in school, yes. So school X, you can even name it, or higher secondary school, whatever it is, give the name of the school, but I am naming it as X. So who are the individuals included in the study? All the students who are registered for NEET are included in the study. So the students, the participants are defined here. And now we are going to define the program. Yes. There are two programs, two different methods by which they are going to be taught. And what is program SSS? We are defining, we are giving here the operational definition. So SSS here in this research, it stands for Special Coaching by School Subject Teachers. So we are operationally defining SSS, the program SSS. That is it is a program in which special coaching is given by the school subject teachers, the teachers who are teaching that particular subject in the same school. So that is SSS. And also we are going to operationally define CCC. It is the coaching by a coaching center. So CCC, coaching by a coaching center. So program 1 is SSS and program 2 is CCC, and we are going to compare it. Now, what is the independent variable here? Here we are defining. Independent variable is the two teaching methods, program SSS and program CCC. So remember what we learned about variables in the previous video I had published. We all defined all types of variables. And what is an independent variable? Independent variable is the factor or the variable which affects, which influences, which causes change, or which modifies the dependent variable. So that is independent variable. And here in this study mentioned, the independent variable will be the two teaching methods, program SSS and program CCC, because they are going to affect the mark NEET score, which is the dependent variable. It is going to depend on the method of teaching. So that is what our study is. So that is independent variable. The teaching methods, program SSS and program CCC, are the independent variables. They cause change in the performance of the students in NEET score. And what is the dependent variable? The gain score in mark NEET score, because we cannot assess in the real NEET performance. So which is going to happen later. So here we are going to use the mock NEET scores, and definitely I have told you there is going to be gain in both the program by SSS and also by the program CCC, because both are training and definitely they will have their effect. So in both the program there will be gain in the score after the second after study test, after test. So the gain will be, but our concern is where the gain will be more. So that is going to be the dependent variable. The gain score in mock NEET is the dependent variable. And here the difference between the scores on two forms of a standardized achievement test. So that is the mock test we are calling. We are going to standardize it, and we are going to kind of one test, the pre-test or prior to the study, that is before giving them the coaching, we are going to conduct one mock test, which is the pre-test. And yet another mock test we are going to conduct after giving the program. Whether by one group of student is going to get SSS and another group of students going to get CCC, and after that program, say 3 months of training, they are going to be given another test which is called post test, and we are going to compare the difference. There is going to be gain, assuming that there is gain in both the coaching, and which coaching, the SSS program gives more effect, or the CCC program gives more gain. That is our study. So based on that, we have formulated the hypothesis. So now we have operationally defined all the independent variable, dependent variable, and the programs and the individuals who are included in the study. Now, we are also going to define what are the possible moderator variables could be in the same research study we mentioned right now. So remember what we learned about moderator variable in my earlier video on variables. If you have not seen it, please go and check it up now, where we have defined all the variables, all kinds of variables. Now, moderator variables are of secondary concern. Remember, they are not primary concern to the researcher. They are of secondary concern, and only their interacting effect or collaborative effect along with the independent variable can be studied. Not their sole effect can be studied. Definitely, this moderator variable can have influence on the DV along with the IV independent variable. But we cannot study their effect separately. Only their interacting effect can be studied. So those are the moderator variable. And what are the moderator variables in this research study? The teacher and the teaching style. And these moderator variable cannot be controlled by the researcher. Why? Because they cannot control the teacher's efficiency, the teaching style. Each teacher may have different teaching style, the different competency, different skills, and that cannot be controlled by the researcher. And also the learning style of the students. Each student will have a different learning style. Some are good at reading, some are good in listening skills, So it varies. So that also the researcher could not possibly control. And the students' scholastic ability, they come from different background. They will have different academic background. So these are all the possible moderator variables which could be acting in this particular study along with the independent variable, namely the program SSS and the program CCC. And what's a control variable? So the control variable is also of secondary concern to the researcher. They are not primary focus to the researcher. Like the moderator variable, the control variable also are of secondary concern to the researcher. But the only difference between moderator variable and control variable is the control variable could be controlled by the researcher either by means of the research design. He can design the research in such a way that these control variables will not have any effect on the dependent variable. In this example, the control variable could be the prior reading achievement and gender of the students. They may have influence on the coaching method. Some may prefer to have this special SSS and some will perform better in CCC. And the medium of instruction may have an effect on the dependent variable, namely the mean gain in the NEET score. But these factors could be controlled by the researcher. How could the researcher control these variables? By either by means of the research design or by some statistical procedure. And for example, here the gender of the students could be controlled by taking both the groups, both in SSS and in CCC. All girls can be taken in as the sample or the participants in the study, or all boys. So there could not be any difference in the mean score due to gender. And also the medium of instruction could be controlled by the researcher by taking up English as the medium of instruction for both the groups, or Tamil as the medium of instruction for both the CCC group and SSS group. And also how could he control the variable prior reading achievement? So he could select students of the same cadre who are having the same reading achievement score in a previous test. So that way he could control by means of the design. And as I've told you, the other means of controlling is the statistical procedure by adapting suitable statistical techniques while analysis. That is by taking covariate analysis method. Yes, this is the end of the video. I hope you clearly understood the concept of operational definition. If you like this video, share this, subscribe to my channel on Vaira Citadel. And you can look forward to my next video or maybe a short on dazzling dualities in research methodology. Until then, bye bye.